you. So is the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost separate persons?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't believe in the doctrine of the Trinity then? You could ask, all you have to do is say yes or no. You don't have to be mad about it.
I affirm the doctrine of the Trinity.
Okay, I know you do. Now, why would you say that the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are separate if the word Trinity means united? Why would you say separate? That assumes there's separate personalities, separate wills, separate minds. Why would you say the word for separate? And you always do it with modalists, but you don't do it with Unitarians. Why do you do that? I have a lot of video on you. I'll post it after this debate's over just to show the contradiction here.
Okay, Matt, it's your turn to respond uninterrupted. Go ahead.
Could he restate the question?
Do you believe that the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost are three separate persons?
Yes.
Okay. You've stated many times that you cannot say separate persons because that's social Trinitarianism, and that leads to tritheism. They cannot be separate because the meaning of Trinity means united. So how are they separate, Matt?
The correct terminology that I should be using and using here, and as I do elsewhere, to say distinct persons.
Distinct,
the word
yes.
Separate would not be the right way to say that. If I said separate, then my bad. The correct teaching that I've always said is they're distinct. Even on my radio show, I've said, don't say separate persons, say distinct.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. But a lot of Trinitarians do that. They say separate persons, and I think that should be corrected. It was right here that Matt Slick lost all of his argumentation, and that's what I kept emphasizing on. He's presupposing that the Father and Son are separate persons, and this is how they continually argue from. They argue from the fact that they think that they both have different personalities, different minds, different wills, different bodies, right? And this is exactly the assumption I was trying to tear down. He says they are one, and then you say separate. It's like, no, you don't even believe they're one, even in unity. So I believe the oneness of God is numerically one. But then when a Trinitarian argues a monarchian like me, what they first do is they want to say that they're separate persons. Then they destroy their own unity of the Trinity. They don't believe God is numerically one, and then they say that God is not even united in one. Do you see that? Do you see how far they drift? You got to understand this. They don't believe it. Matt Slick is the king of this debate on the Trinity. He should know separate persons, but he argues all the time with monarchians or oneness folks like me that God is separate from his Son. That's why he could argue God sent, therefore separation, right? Or Jesus at the right hand of God, therefore separation. He argues from the separation perspective. He literally argues like an Arian, that the Father and Son are not the same God. He's arguing like an Arian, and all Trinitarians do this. They grift. They're grifters. When they go to the modalist, they argue one way. And then when they go to the Unitarian, they argue the total opposite way. If you'd like to watch the full debate, go to Standing for Truth and check out Robert Bolog versus Matt Slick and see that debate so you can see his error. Thank you for watching. God bless.